What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne, and in today's video, we'll be discussing the beauty standards of TikTok. Though we all may know now that there is a TikTok ban underway, that has not stopped the influx of people continuing to post on TikTok. And the continuous posting on TikTok definitely reflects to today's beauty standards. And we're gonna be breaking all of that down in today's video. So today's video, by the title, you guys see, it says, "You're pretty, but you're not TikTok pretty." And it may sound like a controversial take, but if y'all stay with me long enough, you're gonna get exactly what I mean by the title. But before we get into today's video, let's start off with a little bit of positivity as always. Today's quote of the day is, "I am letting go of doubt and fear." Today's verse of the day is Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, and it reads, "Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth." And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video.
Taking you in this moment.
So recently, a TikToker by the name of Leah Halton has gone viral by doing basically nothing, and it has had the entire TikTok algorithm in a frenzy. So she was singing a song that was made by one of Bob Marley's grandsons. I'm thinking it's either his son or his grandson, and it's a viral sound on TikTok. And one thing that people notice for sure is with this sound, the majority of people under it, when you click on the sound bite, you guys know how TikTok works. When you click on a sound, the first few videos on that sound are typically the most popular ones, or the ones that have like the most engagement. And people have noticed that there is a very particular look on there. So we'll get into that look a little bit later, but Leah is definitely number one. As of today, when I'm filming this, Leah's video is nearing 1 billion views. It is at 750.4 million views with almost 50 million likes. And as you guys can see, there are a lot of people questioning, why does she have this many likes? And is this a reflection of pretty privilege?
The issue is that Leah Halton did not ask you guys to give her 42 million likes on the video. She didn't ask you guys to do that. You guys did it on your own, right? So why are you guys mad that she has 42 million likes on the video? And all of a sudden now everyone's coming out saying, well, it was a basic video. It was mediocre. I'm so confused at how she got that many likes on that video. Like, it's kind of confusing to me. I'll tell you what's not confusing. You guys have constantly made white women famous off of doing the most basic of the basic. And I mean it. But the twist is that once you guys do that, you guys get mad that same white woman is utilizing the clout that was given to her. She probably didn't ask for it. It was given to her. It's almost a mystery. Like, you guys did the same thing with Charli D'Amelio. You guys gave her an excessive amount of clout, and now that she's like famous, you guys are like, why is she famous again? Oh, don't act silly now. You knew why she was famous. You guys gave her millions of followers off of dancing to songs that weren't, to choreography that wasn't even hers. So now, like, you guys are trying to do the same thing to Leah as if it's Leah's fault that she posted the video and got 42 million likes. It just goes to show that if you knew it was basic from the beginning, why did you wait until the end to bring it up?
Now, the questioning of why Leah's video has gone viral, in my opinion, should not be a reflection of jealousy. And that's what a lot of people are saying. If you're questioning why she got 48 million likes on such a simple video of her just singing lyrics to a song that she didn't create, I think it's a pretty valid reason to question the video. Obviously, Leah is a stunning girl, and it is clear why she got a lot of likes, because of her beauty. But not only that, it also shows that TikTok is pushing a certain look in the algorithm. There were numerous of girls that posted under that TikTok sound, but they did not get as many likes or views. So what makes Leah so special? And some of the girls that were posting under the sound are just as beautiful. And the girls I'm mainly referring to are girls that don't look like Leah. I'm sure y'all are catching my drift. But the ones that have millions of likes and the ones that are pushed more under this sound all look a certain way. And I'm gonna keep emphasizing that certain look. And judging by this certain look, it is clear that TikTok is pushing this particular look. And that is reflected in not just only this sound, but in multiple sounds all across the app. This goes into what makes a TikTok viral. What is the secret sauce to go viral? And how are certain people getting getting millions and millions of likes on their videos and gaining millions and millions of followers. And according to some theorists and people that frequently use the TikTok app, they believe that TikTok has a certain algorithm of women that they push in order for them to gain this level of fame. And that goes into my next point. Have you guys ever scrolled through TikTok, whether it's through your For You page or through a very popular or viral sound, and you see a girl, particularly a girl, just standing there singing lyrics to a song, and then the video has millions and millions of likes? And I wouldn't even call it particularly hating when it comes to us noticing that a very particular look on TikTok gets these millions of likes. I think it's a very extreme observation. Obviously, all people from different backgrounds, all people that have different looks go viral on TikTok. It's not just a certain race or a certain look that goes viral on TikTok, but we're referencing the longevity, or not even just the longevity, but the simplicity of what makes one person go viral versus another person. And if we're just looking at looks, it is clear one look gets pushed more than the others. And in general, I feel as if this is pushing a very negative beauty standard to millions of young women and girls.
When you're not TikTok pretty, and y'all know exactly the type of pretty that I'm talking about, you will deal with the kind of stuff that I be dealing with.
Now, let's not act like we don't know what type of woman she is referring to. One of the first things I realized about this little app is the type of creators that it favors and pushes out on the For You feed. If you fall under the umbrella of being TikTok pretty, your chances of going viral are a lot higher. And before y'all even get it twisted, this is not brown skin, dark skin, whatever you want to classify me as, woman, feeling like she's not beautiful, feeling like she's not as pretty as the other girls. No, baby. Do you see this? Speaking on something that affects a community that I am a part of is not something that I, as a Black woman or a brown, dark-skinned woman, needs anyone to pity. There are so many creative Black women, dark-skinned Black women on this app really doing their thing, really creating actual content versus just hopping in front of the camera, doing this. They check all the boxes. Good quality content, high quality content, valuable content, using the proper hashtags, SEO in the caption, the type of content you look at and you're like, this girl gonna blow up. Like, I don't see how she hasn't made it yet. How does she not have thousands of followers already? Like, this girl's content is so good. Imagine working so hard on your content and checking all the boxes, but because you're not a conventional beauty, you don't check all the boxes on paper. TikTok says you're not going viral. You're not digestible. You don't make the cut. It's a damn shame when someone who's mediocre, might I add, jump in front of the camera like this. Viral. Thousands of followers. It's a damn shame. Leah Halton is the perfect example of someone who would be considered TikTok pretty. I really didn't even know her by name, but once I saw this video here, I knew exactly who she was. Everyone's been talking about her on social media. As you can see, a lot of her videos are just her kind of in the camera, being cute, flirty, and kind of basking in it. She knows she's TikTok pretty. She knows that these are the videos that go viral. This is what people wants to see, so she's gonna recreate them, which is not a bad thing. She is a beautiful girl. Now, what confuses me is how these type of videos go so viral. And all I can think of is TikTok, pretty definitely has something to do with it. I mean, this video here, she's literally just playing in the camera, doing absolutely nothing. 732 million views, y'all. I usually consider a good viral video about 1 million. This is super dumb as viral. 7 million, 12 million, her pretty much just doing the same thing. Absolutely nothing but being pretty. So for everyone in the comments confused about what TikTok pretty is, this is your prime example. And again, this is no shade to Leah. She's a beautiful girl. Now, I also do want to put it out there that I have not watched her YouTube, and I don't want to just reduce her to just like a pretty face or anything like that. There are people who have watched her YouTube channel and they said she has lots of personality. So there's that. But as it pertains to being TikTok pretty and, being able to go viral doing stuff like this is definitely a wonderful example.
When people keep seeing someone that looks like they're doing the bare minimum get pushed and they're putting all their effort into their content and it's not getting pushed, it can be very discouraging and make you question whether or not you were good enough. And not only that, TikTok pushes certain things on the app. And one major thing that TikTok pushes are filters. TikTok is not the first app to use filters. That's clear as day. We've seen filters on Facebook. We've seen filters on Instagram. We've seen filters on Snapchat way before TikTok came up with filters. But the thing is, TikTok definitely brought about a different understanding of beauty filters. TikTok's beauty filters are insane, okay? I mean, in certain cases, you are unable to tell that someone is wearing a beauty filter. That's how good these beauty filters are. And in doing this, this is very damaging. Now, I know TikTok now has a feature where you are kind of forced to see if someone's using a beauty filter. But if somebody is reposting a video that they recorded on the app and then saved it on their phone and then reposted it, no one is able to see those beauty filters. And a lot of these girls that are going viral are using these beauty filters. Now, this isn't particularly anyone's fault. It's definitely not the girls that are using the beauty filters' fault, but society in general already gives us a biased way on how we should look at ourselves. And with an app like TikTok pushing filters, pushes a certain kind of woman to go viral on TikTok, and so many other things, inevitably it's going to push very negative beauty standards. And from once what used to be a very transparent app, now including beauty filters, people only post themselves in their best appearances. Now, for sure, you see people go on TikTok looking any kind of way. I do still see that, but we're talking about the people that do the bare minimum and then go viral. These women are going on as their best selves. They're pushing forth their best looks. And a lot of the times it's very unrealistic, especially if or when they're using filters, beauty filters in particular.
There are a handful of beauty filters that creators and people on this app like to use that enhance your face. They're so subtle and so discreet and sneaky that when you see them, you don't really think there's a filter. So then you're left thinking, oh my gosh, these people are so pretty and I'm not good enough, which I hate. But I have been bookmarking them, so these are the top TikTok beauty filters and what they do to your face. Okay, watch closely. This is filter number 1. You can see the difference. This is me without it, and this is me with it. And this is filter number 2. Now I know this one seems jarring, but people do this like from far away and with other layered filters, and it does something. Here I am without. I mean, this changes your whole face shape. And here I am with it, looking so mysterious. Okay, let's get ready for number 3. This one is mainly just the eyelashes. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any other face changes. So people will use this when they want more eyelashes. See? It looks very realistic. Okay, filter number 4. This one definitely is a mini snatch. People put this on themselves a lot when they have makeup on. So here I am without it. I mean, this thins the whole face. And here I am with it. And these are super hard to detect when they're not, like I have light makeup on. Without, with. This next one, people use it. People use it. Once again, usually with like lots of makeup or from far away or with like a filter over it from over here, and you don't really think there's a filter. With the filter, without the filter. And then lastly, this one's a little subtle snake snatch. Wait for it. There it is. This does something to the lips too. I think it just gives you a huge top lip. Yep. So yeah, these are the filters. Now look, I'm sure there's some of you who are gonna be like, thanks girl, and you're gonna want to use these filters. Whatever floats your boat. I wanted to make this video for the sole educational purpose of pointing out the fact that they're there, the fact that they're super subtle, and the fact that you might be comparing yourself to someone without knowing. Using filters can have a negative effect on self-image and mental health, and comparing yourself to people online does the same. So just a reminder, can't trust anything you see online, and you're beautiful the way you are.
A lot of young girls are looking themselves and they're dissatisfied with their looks now. And this further contributes to the heightened mental health crisis in our youth.
There's such a big difference between TikTok pretty and normal pretty, and I'm really worried for the young girls growing up in this digital age and how that's gonna affect their self-esteem. Because I am a grown-ass woman and it still affects my self-esteem. So this is what I would call TikTok pretty. This is what I look like when I post TikTok videos, because this is what people like. This is like how videos get views when I look like this. And then this is what I actually look like. So this filter is just makeup. So if I wear makeup, this is what I look like. I don't look like the prior when I wear makeup. The prior is just a filter to make me look TikTok pretty. Let's call this normal pretty. I'm not calling myself the most beautiful girl in the world or anything, but I'd like to think I'm not hideous. So we'll go with this is normal pretty. And you can see how different it is than TikTok pretty. This is what I can actually look like. And I'm pretty confident with how I look in real life. But I can't get myself to post a video like this because people on TikTok don't find this this isn't TikTok pretty. So it's not going to get views if I post a video looking like this. Now, if we go back to TikTok pretty, this is a filter. I don't look like this. No, there's so many differences that you can see. Number one, my eyelashes. My eyelashes could never be this long. Even if I had extensions, which I've seen people with eyelash extensions, they don't look like this. Even if I did my mascara for like an hour, I don't think I could get my eyelashes this long. The previous filter with just makeup, that's how long my eyelashes are with makeup on. Not like this. My nose is contoured the hell out of. It even changed my face shape a little bit. Like, it, not like crazy, but it definitely did. Like, it like makes your face a little smaller. And this is not what I look like. Like, this is not what I look like. This is what I look like. This is, you see, my face isn't that small. My eyelashes aren't that long. My nose isn't that small either. They just, I don't even know what they do. They like shrink it with most filters.
And this definitely doesn't help that TikTok is very addictive. With shorter form content, people are having shorter attention spans. And with shorter attention spans, they are expecting quick gratification from the content that they watch. With TikTok having a scrolling feature and a lot of the videos are short form content, people will end up on TikTok for hours without even realizing it. On a study done, participants admitted to being on TikTok and scrolling on TikTok for 2 to 3 hours a day. And with spending 2 to 3 hours a day or more on an app like TikTok, it will further shift your beauty ideals. It'll further heighten your dissatisfaction with how you look. And let's not even talk about body image issues. Body image has been an issue for literally years. And when you go on TikTok, you see all these women with beautiful, perfect bodies that are sometimes seen as unrealistic. And not only that, some of these girls are using body altering editors that you won't even be able to see that they're editing their bodies with.
You'd be forgiven for thinking your eyes are playing tricks on you. The new technology used in videos like these is undetectable, allowing people to pretend they have the perfect Barbie-like figure online. Experts say constantly seeing these altered videos on apps like TikTok and Instagram is harmful.
When young impressionable girls or young vulnerable women are viewing that type of content, then they're likely to compare themselves with actually very unrealistic standards.
People have been aware of photoshopped images for many years now. But a new study from UNSW has found that young women are less likely to believe that videos can also be edited.
People just aren't as conscious of the improvements in technology that allow us to change a person's appearance as they move. There is a lot of research showing that viewing ideal images can be harmful. And our study and more research now is suggesting that it's the same for ideal short form videos.
When you're used to seeing impossibly perfect bodies online, you can begin to find new faults with your own real body. It's not all bad on social media. Online creators like model Kate Wasley are using their platform to encourage women to love their natural shape.
Influencers and celebrities and, you know, I guess older people on the apps do kind of have that responsibility to stay away from those editing apps.
And is it these women's fault that are using these body image filters? I would not say 100% because some of them even feel pressure to look perfect, especially when people are putting them on this certain pedestal. And it is clear as day this has affected numerous of TikTokers when it comes to body image and beauty ideals because you see a lot, and I mean a lot, of content on how to become prettier, or what kind of pretty are you? I'm sure y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, let me give you a little bit of a refresher. So you'll see certain videos of people saying how to determine if you're pretty, or how to determine if you're average, or are you a Miami, Las Vegas, or New York 10, or are you even a 10 at all? Another type of video that I've seen that I briefly mentioned here are videos that talk about the different types of pretty. What kind of pretty are you? Are you the fox pretty? Are you doe-eyed pretty? And people trying to see whether or not they're a certain type of pretty, or if they're pretty at all. And then TikTok continues to push these ideals because they'll have certain fun, quote unquote fun, like I just stated. This is why I'm doing the little arrows. Wait, these aren't arrows. What do you call these? Like the quotation marks, air marks, quotation air marks. But these are supposed to be fun little filters that will put on a pretty meter on how attractive you are or if you're attractive at all. And though these filters are randomized, I can almost guarantee they are randomized, there are some people, primarily a younger audience, that are looking at these filters and really believing that these filters are determining whether they're pretty or not. Although we all know beauty is completely subjective. It's absolutely preposterous. And this is just one example of the numerous of beauty filters and filters in general on TikTok that pushes these negative beauty standards. Now, obviously, I highly doubt how TikTok put this filter on the app for people to try to see if it determines their beauty or not. But it just shows how the platform in general pushes a lot of people to make everything a beauty competition or make everything about beauty in general. Another popular trend that you will see time and time again on the TikTok platform has to do with bringing these filters on the app to real life. People have been pushing cosmetic injections like nobody's business recently. It is so hard to see any girl on TikTok without having any cosmetic injection in their face. And not only do they just have it, they're pushing other women as young as 18 to go and get this work done in order to maintain their beauty. And also stop the aging process. I mean, why are we concerned about if we're aging at 18 years old? 18 is so young. And with the push of beauty filters, real fillers in person, Botox, cosmetic procedures, all of this stuff, it is further making women insecure. And when they log onto their TikTok apps, they're feeling that pressure on their screens alone, and they cannot get away from the pressures that we see in the real world. There's no break. We can't be in the safety and comfort of our homes without still being pushed to look a certain way. And another push of the filler process has to do with the that girl movement. And what's funny is I think I actually did a video on how to become that girl. I think this was like when I was 20 or 21 years old. I did a video on this. But with the that girl movement, I feel as if it was once attainable, but now it has gotten way out of control, and the expectations to be that girl had become obscene. People constantly push facials, once again, cosmetic procedures, whether on your body or whether on your face. You see body sculpting being pushed. You see lip fillers being pushed. Eyebrow threading. And if y'all don't know what eyebrow threading is, I think it's like the fox eye when they like push your eyebrows up so you have like this snatched model look. I call it like the Bella Hadid look. This is really pushed on the platform as well. We see cheek fillers. We see chin implants. People are constantly pushing this. And then of course, we talked about the anti-aging market for many, many videos, but just the pushing of anti-aging, which is getting Botox, which is getting filler. But people rarely talk about the negative effects of doing these multiple ramifications to your face. It may seem like something super small, but over time, people get addicted to these things. Why do you think so many girls have these massive lips that they think look good? They literally have body dysmorphia because they feel as if they have to continuously get lip injections in order to feel their best self because they're so used to them now having full lips. They went from very thin lips to full lips. And obviously this is not all people, but in some cases, you see these women continuously getting work done even when they're first job looked really good. And it's almost disheartening to see girls not allowing themselves to grow into their features because people on TikTok are pushing them to get work done before they even hit college.
Something that I've been thinking about a lot recently is how normalized fillers and Botox and things like that are. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing because I think that everybody should be able to do whatever they want to do. But when I see things like buy one syringe, get one syringe half off, or like Botox parties, I'm just like, what are we doing? How accessible a kind of medical thing is when a lot of actual medical procedures aren't even accessible to people is actually mind-boggling.
Like, why do you think it has been a viral moment of a lot of young girls, like 10 to 12-year-olds, going to Sephora, going to Ulta Beauty, and getting all these anti-aging products? Tell me why a 10 or a 12-year-old need anti-aging products. Like, let's be so for real. These 10 and 12-year-olds are becoming influencers. Like, I'm all for letting your child live their dreams, but it just seems a little astronomical to let your little 9-year-old be on TikTok doing a get ready with me to go to school and they're wearing a full face of makeup. Like, that just seems insane to me. And once again, I'm strictly referencing the get ready with me's that are rather grown because I used to do YouTube when I was 12 years old. I think if you guys scroll down enough, you guys probably will see my very first YouTube video. I was 12 at the time, but I was sitting there with a side ponytail. I had a little bit of eyeliner on. I could only wear eyeliner in the house, and that was it. I looked like a kid. A lot of these young girls look like mini adults, and you can tell they're like mini adults because they're literally 10. Like, you can tell that they're still growing into their looks, but here they are feeling the pressures to adhere to being an influencer, adhere to society's and TikTok's beauty standards. standards. And then they're also pushing these different beauty standards to their peer audience, which are a bunch of other 10 to 12-year-olds. So it's this ongoing cycle that seems to never end. And of course, this has happened before TikTok, but I think it's even worse because little girls are getting access to it at a younger and younger age. And before, what you saw in a magazine, you can leave the magazine at the store. Now, all of these girls are seeing this inside of their homes in their comfort of their bedrooms. They cannot escape today's beauty standards due to these multitude of beauty standards being pushed on social media platforms like TikTok. These little girls are buying Drunk Elephant. These little girls are getting all these designer perfumes, all these expensive products because they feel as if they need to, because all of their peers are all a part of this same exact cycle of being pushed beauty standards online. Now let's get into beauty in the present versus beauty in the past. Now, let's be clear, because I know you guys all are going to try to announce this, or at least someone will try. I understand that there has always been beauty standards. I understand that there has always been negative beauty standards. And I also understand that there was never a perfect time for women, okay? Let's be real. But I just want to be clear on what we see pushed more now than we did in the past. So let's take a simple look at dating shows. They're technically supposed to reflect the reality of the world. And when it comes to the reality of the world, I would assume that means also the reality of how people look in person. So we have shows like Love is Blind, Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, and even The Bachelor that have a very particular look on the show. And I feel as if they show a different lens of what true beauty really is. And you know what? Actually, let me scratch out Love is Blind, because this is actually goes against my point a little bit. I'll bring Love is Blind back in a little bit. If you guys look at the first season of a show, like for instance, The Bachelor, and you looked at the cast of women that were on The Bachelor versus the cast of women today, there is a very different look. Before, the women on the show looked like any woman you would see walking down the street. Now, that's not to say that they're ugly or they're not attractive, but they looked like a woman that you literally would see. They were pretty women, but they looked like someone you would see every day. Today, on The Bachelor, it's almost as if a lot of these women are like anomalies. They are not the kind of women you will typically see walking down the street in your day-to-day life. They are exceptionally beautiful. They are above average. And I would even say they're like the pinnacle of beauty. At least the majority of them are. Even look at Too Hot to Handle. All of the girls are literally blown up. You can just see the fillers, the Botox, the breast implants, the BBLs, all of the work being done on their bodies. You see all of this right on your television screens, and it shows a very unrealistic beauty standard. But when I say all of this, my point is to bring that it doesn't truly reflect reality. You rarely see the IG baddies, the TikTok baddies, or Victoria's Secret supermodels, or just anybody that's considered the pinnacle of beauty in your day-to-day life. Even stepping foot in a Miami, or even stepping foot in an Atlanta or a New York, you do not commonly see the pinnacle of beauty out and about. But in reality TV shows, we are seeing the pinnacle of beauty. We're thinking this is reality. So then little girls and even grown women are comparing themselves, or doing a self-comparison of what they're seeing on screen and what they look like or what their peers look like. And they're like, well, why don't I look like that? Or why don't my friends look like that? And mostly I'll say we're talking down on ourselves, because I feel like we're all our biggest critics and we may think our friends are beautiful. But when you step out, you don't see people that are so stunning. We're gonna bring Love is Blind back in. A lot of people will talk about Love is Blind, right? And they will talk down on a lot of the castmates. They'll say how ugly they are, how unattractive they are. But in reality, they just look like regular people. No, not all of them look like the people on Love Island. No, they don't look like the people on Too Hot to Handle. No, they don't look like the people on The Bachelor necessarily, but they just look like people. However, our beauty standards are so skewed, we are now looking at just average looking people as ugly. I saw a TikTok of someone actually mentioning this and saying how everyone was calling Jimmy. I don't know if y'all saw the latest season of Love is Blind. It was crazy. I highly suggest go check it out. But people were coming for a lot of the cast looks. If you guys know Chelsea, who compared herself to Megan Fox, she claimed that people would say sometimes that she looked like Megan Fox due to her eyes and her dark hair. But everybody was saying that Chelsea was just this hideous being, and that even the guy that she matched with, Jimmy, was hideous as well. But they honestly just like average people. If we saw Chelsea in person, we'd be like, okay, she's a cute girl. If we saw Jimmy in person, we'd be like, oh, okay, he's like a regular looking dude. We wouldn't be calling them so hideous the way people are on social media. And I think the reason we do this, or a majority of people do this, is because we see a certain level of beauty on social media.
With the new season of Love is Blind, there's a huge conversation happening about who is the most beautiful, but nobody's talking about the elephant in the room, which is how much beauty standards have changed. This is part of the first season of The Bachelor. These women are all pretty, but they look like ordinary human beings. This is the cast of the current season of The Bachelor. It's a little harder to see because there are so many women jammed into this picture, but if you look at their faces, they are all extraordinarily beautiful. Like exceptionally beautiful. And here's a bit of a better image so you can get up close and personal. But even though reality TV was never about reality, it used to be selling you a slice of life. And the change in beauty standards is not just limited to reality TV shows. Not too long ago, movie stars were people who looked above average, but not frighteningly so, and who were portrayed as ordinary human beings in movies. Men and women who looked like regular people were once upon a time on the silver screen. The absolute darlings of the biggest rom-coms of the 90s and 2000s. And in just the last 15 years, the beauty standard has risen so precipitously, and ordinary women are expected to spend as much money and time as movie stars being beautiful. And if you don't obtain that mythical status, men who look like this and wear loafers with no socks will judge you less worthy of love. It's probably a function of late-stage capitalism combined with our overconsumption of social media, but how did we get here?
As somebody who has lived at or near New York, Atlanta, has been to Vegas, I've never been to Miami yet. Well, I stepped foot in Miami for a little bit when I had a connecting flight there. But these are considered like the major beauty areas, right? But even in these major beauty areas, this is not me talking down on anybody, but I just see regular people. I don't see people that look like these Instagram models. I don't see people that look like what we see on TikTok. And that's because a lot of what we see reflected on social media is fake. And they're unrealistic beauty standards and unrealistic goals to try to reach or obtain. We are pressured to look a certain way that literally does not exist. These girls don't look like how they do in person a lot of the time. Some do, and that's beautiful for them. That's great. You still shouldn't compare yourself to something that's considered an anomaly. And also in doing so, there shouldn't be an objective to bring down these influencers that are going viral. With people talking about Leah Halton, I've saw a lot of people saying, well, she's not that cute. That can be your opinion, y'all, but there's no reason to go and comment that. Like, I don't know why people feel the need to comment their mean thoughts, or even if it's just their opinion, because beauty is subjective. One person might find Leah Halton to be stunning, but another person might find her to be average, and then another person might find her to be ugly. But that doesn't give you a right to just go ahead and comment that just because it's not her video, or even if you're doing it directly on her video. It's a very nasty thing to do, and nobody wants to see that, no matter how beautiful or how much of the beauty standard that they are. People still do have insecurities, hence why a lot of your fave IG models are using all these filters and are getting all of these fillers. What we consider to be the pinnacle of beauty, they're still trying to reach and obtain themselves. But yeah, you guys, that is the end of today's video talking about, yeah, you're pretty, but you're not TikTok pretty. I just want to say, in general, stop comparing yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but just understand that a lot of what we see on social media is not always necessarily true. We all go on the platform to look our very best. I guarantee you, I'm even on camera right now, y'all. If y'all saw me earlier, I had a bun in, a headband. I just came back from my Pilates class and I was just chilling, but I knew I had to film. So I was like, okay, let me groom myself. I want to look my very best on camera. And here we are right now. This is not what I look like on a day-to-day basis. I still think I'm an attractive girl, even without all this on, but still, I look different. I look my best. I'm trying to look my best for the camera. We do this because how we present ourselves is how we want to be perceived by others. And a lot of the times, people want to be perceived as more attractive than what they may really look like. Or a lot of times, people want to be perceived as someone that is going to be taken more seriously. Because if we're being real, pretty privilege does exist. I know I did a video on that and it caused a lot of controversy, but it's the truth. Pretty privilege indeed exists. And you get a lot of opportunities from being considered quote unquote pretty. But you guys, that is the end of today's video. I of course want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on TikTok? And do you feel as if TikTok makes you feel less attractive? Do you feel like it makes you feel more attractive? Do you feel inclined to go and get work done? Do you feel inclined to go work out more? What do you think TikTok does for you and your mental health? Let's get the discussion going on in the comments. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for watching. I love and I appreciate you all so, so very much. And I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment. Come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name. Release all of your burden.